to me, sleep has always been the key to performance. Now, you can go longer without food and water without making cognitive errors than you can without sleep.
Absolutely.
So I want to protect that, and I want to improve on sleep any chance that I get. Now, yeah, I like to have a drink once in a while, you know, but I try to do it earlier in the day or earlier in the evening. You know, we've all heard the things from the time we were a kid or whatever. You know, it takes an hour to burn off a shot or a glass of wine or one beer. 1 hour was kind of always the thing I grew up listening to when I was a kid or a young adult or whatever. But when it comes to sleep and your HRV, I think it's 100% wrong. Everything I'm seeing is it takes probably about 3 hours to completely burn off one drink before your HRV settles, before your heart rate comes down, before your breathing returns to a normal breathing rate. The brain doesn't register alcohol maybe the way we think it is. Hey, I'm just having a beer. This is cool. It only sees alcohol as poison. And internally, your nervous system goes into basically a fight or flight situation. And so you're not going to get into REM sleep. You're not going to get into deep sleep if you've been drinking. Your HRV is going to plummet. So I'm just kind of like, why would I want to expose myself to that at like these egregious levels that I used to do it at? I don't want to do that anymore. Now it's like, shoot, man, I turned 50 a couple of years ago. Never thought I'd make it to 50.
Right.
But now I look at 50 and just go, what if I can truly make 50 my halfway point?
Yeah, it's amazing. And this is something that's come up in the last couple of human performance podcasts. I probably transitioned right about where you are now, where optimal performance, I'm talking speed and strength, became secondary to longevity in my design of like, let me start changing things up that not for the here and now, but for the next day and the longer run. Definitely in my training, definitely in my nutrition, and that all comes into play. Another thing, just to finish off the conversation on the alcohol, like if you don't believe what we're saying, get your Garmin, your Fitbit, your Oura Ring, whatever you use that's tied to your phone, and do the experiment and look at the numbers. Look at your deep sleep, look at your REM sleep, look at everything. The math doesn't lie. It shows it right out there. So for me, again, I'm not professing don't do it. You got to live life. You've got to enjoy it. It's moderation to me, and it's timing. And for me, the timing, if I can get 2 meals in before bedtime and have it, like you're saying, mid-afternoon, and then go to bed at my normal time, I can still see productive sleep. So just take it for what it's worth. There's no question the days of us being 31 years old and getting up and going and doing a monster mash or something after drinking all night are long fucking gone.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but sleep is, to me, sleep's like the hardest thing to get back. It takes a long time. So I tell guys, don't get discouraged if, you're really working on it and, 3 or 4 weeks in, you're only like, man, I'm only seeing like an extra 15 minutes of sleep a night. I've worked with guys for years to get them to a point where we've increased 1 hour. Sometimes guys we've increased guys' nightly sleep by a couple hours in 4 weeks.
From 4 to 6.
Right?
In the month I was there, I had this terminal problem if I couldn't sleep, and you guys got me from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And most active duty members is what we see through all the sleep studies and everything is they're averaging about 4 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
And most of that is interrupted.
It is.
If we can get you to 6 naturally without all these sleep meds and pills and alcohol, how many more cycles of REM are you getting through? How much more hormone are you releasing when you're in those stages 3 and 4 of sleep? That's what we want.
Yeah, at the end of the day, all strength and conditioning that you do, none of it pays off if you're not getting the rest and sleep. And that's been my biggest demon forever, is the rest and the sleep. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get to 7 hours. I'm trying to get my deep longer. I'm actually trying something out right now. good friend is a rep for him. I'm trying something out called BioSleep right now. It's a natural form thing that they're doing. It's a growth hormone type thing, but it releases the GH more and everything. I'm only 5 days into it, so we'll see what happens. But I'm doing everything I can to increase the sleep, not the reps right now, because I know that's where the money is made. And again, I'm shooting for longevity because the biggest problem I have is an overactive mind.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest danger, because I stay hydrated, I'm a water guy. I pound it all day long. And so if I wake up in the middle of the night, which I will once or twice to go take a leak, I've got to go to the bathroom and try and get back in the bed and go right back to sleep. Because if my brain engages, if I have a busy day the next day, I am screwed.
Yeah.
It turns on and it's over.
Yeah. Well, we come from communities of problem solvers.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, and it drives us. So another thing we work on with sleep is trying to limit the amount of disturbances. So I give myself a cutoff point in the evening, and I was like you, I wanted to be overly hydrated as much as possible, but that creates, how many times I got to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And every time I get up, it's a chance. And I use this, when I talk with the guys is, from the movie Ghostbusters with Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it's like, you'll pick your destroyer. Like nobody thought of anything. And then they're like, Ray, what'd you do? Like sometimes I let the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in my brain in the middle of the night. I can't go back to sleep and he just crushes my city.
Gotcha.
Right. So I don't want to let him in. If that means I have to stop intake of all fluids at 8 p.m. because I'm going to be in bed between 9 and 9:30, or maybe even 7:30, I'm going to stop all the intake of fluids. That's what I'm going to do because my sleep is that important to me. I'll hydrate my tail off the rest of the day, but I do have a cutoff point.
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to give myself every advantage to not have a disturbance in the middle of the night because our brains are wired to problem solve. And once the gears engage,
There's no shutting
you're going to be up.
There's no shutting
It's so hard to go back to sleep.